Hi, I'm Bersercules, the Berserk Herc, and today I'll be reading the first story from Superman number 138, called Titano the Super-Ape. So let's take a look at the cover. King Kong was only a make-believe gorilla menace, but Titano was real. You hear that, reality? King Kong is fake, but this giant purple ape shooting laser beams out of his eyes is legit. So anyway, we head over to the first page of the comic, as our story is already in progress, as the giant ape, now not purple, destroys the Daily Planet building as it breaks the fourth wall to blast the story's text box with its laser beam eyes. I guess Titano hates comic books. And as Titano does this, Superman dodges his Optic Blast and thinks, but why is he destroying all round objects in the metropolis? What a riddle. Yeah, a riddle. I'm sure the giant gorilla that shoots kryptonite from his eyes has a method for his mayhem. And why is that your priority anyway? He's causing a rampage all through the city, and you're worried about why he's doing it. What the fuck? Oh, wait a moment. This isn't part of the story. This is the opening panel of the story, made to draw readers into the comic, which was also on the cover. Huh. At least when the giant ape shows up in the story, it won't be a surprise. I hate it when you get surprised while reading a comic book. Oh, and here's the opening text for the story. Taller than a building, more powerful than a herd of elephants, more destructive than a hurricane. Only those terrifying phrases can fit Titano the mighty ape. Huh, that's a pretty cool intro. Can I have a cool intro too? Fatter than Homer Simpson, lamer than Miles Peterson, and more boring than your great Aunt Maribel. Only those phrases can summarize Bersercules. Well, that's not quite what I wanted, but cool! I have an intro now! So now on to the story. Gee, I wonder what it will be about. As Superman, in his Fortress of Solitude, is watching some weird alien TV set. It's good to know Soup takes time off from saving lives to fuck around in his fort and watch alien TV. Hey, maybe he'll contact Jupiter! This relic of a dead civilization seems to be a time television set. The left-hand dial made the machine tune in on a prehistoric scene. Nothing happened when I twisted the other dial. Huh, just fucking around in your fort with some advanced alien machine that you don't even know what it does? Cool, good luck with that! So then, Superman sees a giant ape on the screen and comments on it being out of place in that time, and then he recognizes it as Titano. Huh, Soup didn't recognize Titano at first? Cause, there are just so many giant apes out there? And then Superman starts to explain who Titano is and tells of his origins. What? Who are you talking to, Soup? You're alone! So, Superman starts to explain about Titano to himself while alone in his fortress. This isn't weird. Talking to yourself, huh? That's kind of bizarre. Ain't that right? Yup. And wow, he even has others talking in his thoughts. He's thinking to himself. It's quite the vivid fantasy world you got there, Soup. And as Soup tells the story of himself, we find out Titano's original name is Toto. Jeepers, no wonder he goes on a rampage. What a dumb name. You once treated my chimp kindly, Miss Lane. Wow, the people talking in Soup's remembrances / thoughts / narrations even hint at past events and further backstory in their dialogues? I'm in a story being told a story about people hinting at past events from another story? Where the fuck am I? What's going on? Is this the Matrix? Am I one with the universe? He still loves you. Can you coax him into getting into the capsule on top of the rocket? I'll try. How often did apes return home safely after going into space? So, with the ape in space, a bizarre set of circumstances then arises, as two meteorites collide right in front of the little ape-Nick shuttle, and bombard the ape with radioactive and kryptonite rays. And upon the ape's return to Earth, he grows to giant size, and then Superman, upon seeing this, thinks to himself that radioactive rays have been known to do that. Thanks for the info, Soup. So, Superman's alone in his Fortress of Solitude, thinking to himself about a time when he saw Titano and thought to himself some stuff about what he was seeing. Wow, that's fucked up. I'm having the Beast That Killed Women flashbacks. By the way, that's my origin too. I was bombarded by a radioactive TV and gained my reviewer powers. Because that's how radiation works. It also made my penis really big. The giant ape then grabs Lois, and as Superman tries to rescue her, he is repelled by Titano's newfound I-beam powers, and then Lois says, "You don't have to rescue me, Superman. Toto is still my friend, and he won't harm me. I'll call him Titano in my scoop." That's quite a random end for your sentence there, Lois. What the fuck? I'm making a joke about it in my review. So the kryptonite Optic Blast keeps Superman at bay till Lois is able to trick Titano into putting on lead glasses which nullify his optic beams, and Superman is then able to throw him through the time barrier to a long ago time. Is that how Superman solves his problems? He throws him into the past? What the fuck? Great problem-solving skills, Superman! You're a genius! So there's no worry on Superman's part about messing up the past? What about causality? You could change the past so humans never existed. You could wipe out the entire human race. Anyway, now with Superman's flashback thoughts over, we see that Titano is disappearing from the screen. Then, noticing an inscription on the time machine, the Man of Steel uses his super-wits to translate the alien languages. Super-wits? What the fuck? If he's got super-wits, why didn't he read the inscription on the time machine before he used it? What the fuck? Super-wits. So are they just making up powers for Superman now? What the heck? Does he also have super shits? Or super breath? Or super ventriloquism? Oh wait, he does have two of those powers. I'll let you figure out which two. Super wits. This from a man whose solution to problems is throw them into the past. So as Superman uses his super wits to decipher a written language he has no Rosetta Stone for, his danger alarm goes off and, wow, that's a shitty looking world map. 2 circles each with a small part of the world on them, and only a few areas marked off and named? Did Superman use his super wits to make this map? Cheapers! I wish I had super wits. And Metropolis is off the coast of the USA. What the fuck? Is Metropolis the lost city of Atlantis? Cheapers! So the alarm goes off and Superman thinks, "Oh, I'll have to solve the mystery of Titano later." So Superman decides to rush off and answer the alarm, because fuck finding out where you sent that dangerous giant ape. Let him wreak havoc in 12th century Bulgaria or the Wild West. What do you care? You don't have a super conscience. Then again, the ape's probably the problem that Metropolis is experiencing. Where are your super wits now? So Superman flies from Metropolis and sees that Titano is in the city. Wow, what a shock. I didn't see that coming. Great stars! Titano is here in 1960! I'm reviewing this comic book in 2012! That reminds me. I gotta go do something. I'll see you in a moment.
That's stupid. With that logic, everyone deserves to die. We all have ancestors that were, hi. Can I help you?
I've come from the future. You are to be killed for the actions of your ancestors.
Hey, what about you? Your ancestors probably did bad things too.
They did. And that's why I'll be killing myself next.
Look over there!
Huh?
And how does he know who the judges are, exactly?
So, seeing Titano in the present day, Superman, having memorized the alien inscription with his photographic eyes... What? Another power? Holy cow! Is his superpower having all conceivable superpowers? Jeepers! Superman, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, with super breath to blow things away, super wits to figure out the complex, but be baffled by the obvious, and photographic eyes to easily explain how he remembers things so well. Anyway, Superman finishes the translation mentally. Wait, he finishes the translation mentally? As opposed to what? Finishing the translation with his toes? Does Superman have super intelligent toe fungus? What the fuck? So Titano starts to rip up the place, because apparently that's what giant gorillas do. Seriously, are the small gorillas this violent? Anyway, Titano grabs a giant bowling ball and then throws it away, and Superman then rushes to stop it from hitting a plane by kicking it far away. Soup, the people who own the bowling alley might want their ball back. So after showboating for the plane's passengers, seriously, that's why he kicks a giant bowling ball away, to impress a plane full of football players. Just what you want in a hero, a desire to entertain. Anyway, after kicking the giant bowling ball away, which could have landed anywhere if you think about it. It could have landed on a school miles away, or a wicked witch. Anyway, after kicking the giant bowling ball away, Superman then puts his plan to send Titano back into the past into action as he flies at Titano to grab him and is knocked down by his kryptonite eye beams. Forgot about his kryptonite eye blasts, eh? Where are your super wits now? Super wits must be the coolest power ever. So now, blasted by the giant gorilla's eye beams, Soup falls to the ground and Titano tries to crush him underfoot, but ends up just pushing him through the ground to the subway below, where Superman catches a ride on the subway and escapes. Is that his super luck at work? Does he have a super rabbit's foot up his ass? Jeepers. So with Soup gone, Titano continues his rampage and attacks the Daily Planet building, ripping the giant globe logo off its roof as someone in the building exposits. That's odd. First he sees that giant prop bowling ball, now this giant globe of Earth. Why is he only after round things? 'Cause I know if I was in a building under siege by a giant gorilla, I'd be wondering about the reasons for its actions, and not worrying about my own safety. Oh my god! That monster is wrecking the building! We gotta get out of here! I wonder why he's attacking this building. Do you think it's unresolved childhood issues? You know, misplaced anger or something? Who fucking cares? Run! And is it just me, or does this story seem to think we'd find a giant ape destroying a city so boring that they needed to spice it up with a silly mystery? What the fuck? Anyway, shortly, with a bellow of disappointment, Titano throws away the globe as Superman thinks, luckily, it'll fall into the ocean. So Superman can calculate the trajectory of an object thrown through the air by someone else, but can't remember that Titano has kryptonite eye beams, despite mentioning it moments prior? Super wits! So, as Superman has recovered his full powers, he goes to an unused storage room and retrieves a lead suit he has stashed away for just such an occasion, but that he didn't remember to use till now. Super wits must be the most important superpower ever. Think of all the destruction that wouldn't have happened if he didn't have super wits. And why is he storing that lead suit in a random storage area and not hiding it in his Fortress of Solitude? Is his Fortress of Solitude so full of other crap, like alien TVs, bottle cities, monsters, and statues of himself and his friends, that he can't keep important crime-fighting equipment there? Cheapers! I'm glad Superman has his priorities straight. So, any hobo could have found that suit, donned it, and become a villain. It's almost like Superman is trying to make villains, just to give him something to do. So Superman dons his lead armor, which will protect him from the kryptonite rays, and which has a TV monitor on the inside that can receive images from a TV camera on the outside of the armor, which is called TV camera with telescopic lens, or robot penis for short. And then they rip off the movie King Kong as Lois is grabbed through the building by the giant ape, as Jimmy Olsen helps by narrating what is happening. Way to help out, Olsen. You could grab her out of his hands, try to stop him, use your Superman signal watch to get Superman to come, or you could narrate what's happening as you stand like an idiot. Good choice. I can see why they gave you your own comic book. Your battle techniques are amazing. Gee willikers! Lois is being abducted by aliens! Perry's being beaten by muggers and calling out for help! Oh, and the water cooler's almost out of water! My goodness! Someone should call for Superman, or the cops! Or at least the water refill guy! So Lois finds herself in the palm of the hand of the beast, and then, as he continues his search for round things, was Lois one of the round things he was looking for? 'Cause he's a few years late for that. Anyway, Lois then escapes, and through a bizarre and silly bunch of events, ends up locked in a cage around Titano's neck, like a piece of jewelry any rapper would be jealous of. Yo, 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 I has a gold chain around my neck. Huh, that ain't nothing, dude. I got a hole in a cage around my neck. Dude! So, as Titano continues on, with his living bling, he's attacked by Superman in his armor of dorkiness and blasts him with his eye beams to no effect. Then, as Titano goes to grab Superman, Superman flies away really fast, and the air friction of his great speed melts his lead suit. It's great to see his super wits in action. When he said super wits earlier, did he mean super mass retardation? Or is he some sort of idiot savant, or super idiot savant, that can translate alien languages and calculate trajectories, but can't manage to do the simplest thing? What the super fuck? So, now that Superman must avoid Titano's Optic Blast, he keeps a safe distance from him as he follows him. Soup, just get a really big tree and sneak up behind him and hit him on the back of the head. No? Super wits! And then the Bling Wayne Titano sees a red balloon. Ah! A balloon! Titano then crushes the balloon as Superman watches and gives us a weird crotch shot. Thanks, Superman. And then, since Superman can't get close to the giant gorilla, he puts the oddest plan into action to save the people falling out of the balloon. He flies over to a roller coaster, grabs its tracks, and uses them to catch the falling people, and then puts the track back together before the cart on the track falls off the end. Wow, that's quite a crazy scheme. And if you could get close enough to them to catch them with the track, without Titano seeing you, you could have just caught them standardly, right? I mean, falling into a roller coaster seat could have killed these people. Heck, the fall itself could have killed them. Comics are so impractical. Anyway, now back to the giant gorilla that shoots laser beams from its eyes as it's wading in water. Before Superman finishes, what the fuck? Superman saved all those people in the amount of time it takes a fast-moving roller coaster to move 15 feet? And that was enough time for Titano to make it to the ocean? Is the giant laser beam shooting ape also a speed demon like the Flash? Holy Speedy Gonzales! And if Titano left immediately after destroying the balloon, why'd Soup have to do all that crazy stuff? He could have just caught them normally. And now Titano's going after a Bathysphere. His quest for spheres is goofy. So Titano goes after a yellow Bathysphere full of beetles, scientists. And after examining it, he throws it away, and Superman, not wanting the occupants to get hurt, goes and saves them while avoiding Titano's gaze. Unseen, Superman super swims. Wait, now he can super swim? Seriously, did they just add super in front of everything he does? Does he super get dressed in the morning? Does he super make breakfast? Does he super fart? Does he super wipe his butt? What the super fuck? What's so super about swimming? Is he doing cool motions as he swims? Or is he just super doggy paddling? Anyway. Unseen, Superman super swims in a second out to see where the Bathysphere lands. Now my super breath. So everything you do is super. And you gotta call it that? What a super dumbass. Now my super breath will hold it and lower it gently into the water. That saves us from crashing and being killed, thanks to Superman. Did the guys in the Bathysphere just finish the narration Superman was thinking? Are they psychic? Or is this some sort of weird artsy comic?
What the fuck? That's stupid.
So with the scientists saved, sorta, they're still floating around the Bathysphere disconnected from the ship. Anyway, Superman then breaks the time barrier and heads off into the past. Hey Soup, wanna go maybe kill Hitler as a child? Or at least give him a talking to? Anyway, Superman shows up in prehistoric Earth, I'll take that as a no then, and solves the riddle of Titano's obsession with round things, as he arrives at a giant pile of coconuts from the past. Giant coconuts? This is totally legit. So basically Titano was about to eat giant coconuts, but before he could, he was taken into the present, and has since been grabbing round things, thinking they might be his coconuts. Wait, what? He was going after spherical things because he thought they might be his coconuts? His all brown coconuts? How the fuck do you confuse a black bowling ball, a giant blue ball with yellow writing attached to it, a flying red balloon, and a yellow bathysphere for some fucking giant coconuts? What the fuck? I know he's an animal and all that, but that's still pretty fucking stupid. Holy super shit. So anyway, Superman takes the giant coconuts to the present. Whatever you do, Soup, don't go warn yourself from a few moments ago not to melt the lead suit and stop all that destruction that followed. Anyway, Superman then takes him to the present as he slowly takes 3 panels to explain all that stuff about Titano mistaking all round things for these coconuts. And he explains it all in his mind, to himself. Wow, are your delusions super too? Soup, you already know all this! That's why you did what you're doing! You don't need to narrate things! Narrating stuff is pathetic! I keep insulting myself lately. What the fuck? So he gives the prehistoric giant coconuts to Titano, and while he's distracted, he saves Lois and knocks out Titano with one punch. You can't distract a giant gorilla without coconuts? Why didn't you sneak up behind him the first time and do that? Oh yeah, I forgot. Super wits! Super wits are my favorite superpower. And as Superman punches out the giant gorilla, he exposits to himself what he will do with him now. While he's out, I'll fly back across the time barrier into the prehistoric past. This overgrown anthropod belongs there with the giant dinosaurs. Yep, that's how you should always solve your problems, Superman. Throw them into the past. Make them someone else's problem. Super wits! So, then the comic jumps to its last panel as we see the Superman gang of friends hanging around the roof of the Daily Planet building looking at the new globe Superman built. Lois, I have a great title for your scoop you can write. I was the first human being to be the pet of an animal. You think I'd write that humiliating story, you ape? So with that, the story is over. You gotta love it when a story ends itself quickly. So that's it. It's now the end.